She was just 15. No spotlight, no headline. Just a schoolgirl with a spine of steel. The date is March 2nd, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama. A teenager climbs onto a city bus. Tired, quiet, invisible to most. But when the driver demands that she give up her seat, she doesn't move. Not because she planned to be a hero, but because she was done being ignored. She would later recall that history kept me stuck to my seat. I felt the hand of Harriet Tubman pushing down on one shoulder and Sojourner Truth pushing down on the other. That moment, 9 months before Rosa Parks made history, before the boycotts, before the cameras, was Claudette Colvin. And when a white passenger demanded her seat on the bus, she remembered what she'd been taught about the 14th Amendment, about equal rights, and she stayed seated. The police came, and they dragged her off the bus, handcuffed and kicking as she shouted, "It's my constitutional right." But no one was listening. Then came the part that no one talks about. The officers began making sexual comments about her body. They laughed and took turns guessing her bra size. After one officer jumped in the back seat of the police car with her, Colvin recalled, "I put my knees together and crossed my hands over my lap and started praying." She was terrified. Girls like her were often assaulted and no one believed them. She was jailed, alone, and treated like a criminal for daring to believe that she mattered. But that moment, that refusal, helped spark a movement. But Claudette, she disappeared. Not because she lacked courage, but because the movement's leaders feared that the world wasn't ready for her. She was too young, too poor, too emotional, they said. And months after her arrest, when she became pregnant, they worried that white America would use that to discredit the cause. The NAACP needed someone that the country would respect, someone with polish, with standing. They needed Rosa Parks. Rosa was a seasoned activist, secretary of the NAACP, and a respected seamstress. She knew the risks, and she took them anyway. Her quiet strength lit the match that launched the Montgomery bus boycott. Rosa Parks was brave. Her choices changed history. But Claudette, she had already paved the way. She became one of the plaintiffs in Browder v. Gale, the Supreme Court case that ended bus segregation in Montgomery. The boycott didn't just rest on Parks's courage alone. It stood on Claudette's case. She would go on to become a nurse's aide, raise 2 sons, and spend decades in silence in New York, while her name was left out of the history books. But she never stopped telling her truth. And in 2021, at the age of 82, she filed to expunge her arrest record. Not for herself, but so young people would know what really happened, so that they would see that movements aren't made by saints or symbols. They're made by people, often young, often overlooked. She was just 15, but her courage carried the weight of a movement. She sat down so history could stand up.